go. Yes, we are.
I want to thank everybody for coming today. Obviously, we're here today to mourn the loss of a great friend and an iconic figure at Brookhaven, and for Dallas tennis. Larry was taken from us suddenly and without warning, and as is too often the case in life, we did not get to properly say goodbye or tell him thank you for everything he had done for us over the years. Today, hopefully, we can give a little closure, gain a little closure, and try to move forward with a little less of a hole in our hearts and our lives that has been left by Larry's departure. Make no mistake, Larry is watching over this today and is extremely uncomfortable because he never wanted anything to be about him. To him, it was always about us, his tennis family. I can sit up here and talk for a couple hours about Larry, so that's why I wrote notes so I won't ramble on and give other people a chance to talk here too today. We all have our stories and relationships with Larry that we will welcome you to share with a group if you would like, or privately with friends as we mingle afterwards and have a little bit to eat and just share stories about Larry. Yuri and Carrie are also going to share a few thoughts about Larry after I finish, as we all honor Larry's memory together. All you need to know about Larry is right here in front of us now. This turnout, outpouring of friends, we've got people who've traveled a long distance to be here today, all because Larry took care of them when they were members here years and years ago. I would ask at this time that we have a moment of silence to reflect on everything that Larry did to enhance our lives, and to look around the deck and the courts to realize the number of friends we have gained because of Larry. It has been my honor and privilege to know Larry for the last 33 years. He joined Brookhaven in January 1990, and the tennis changed forever at the club. Larry did not just cultivate upper-level tennis at the club, he created a family of people over multiple levels of play that became a large family, his family, within the club. Larry was the most selfless person that I know. He cared about every one of you on a personal level, and cared about the tennis that you played. I did some research in preparation to talk today, and it shocked me to find out that this season was Larry's 90th team that he captained out of Brookhaven. To put it in proper perspective, he stopped playing competitive tennis in 2002. So Larry hadn't played on a team in over 21 years, yet he still found the time, and it was his passion and his joy to come out here and organize you guys, captain you through teams. He'd come out, sit through extreme heat, cold, whatever it was, he was there at every match, watching and enjoying seeing you out there playing. A thing that I didn't really remember is that Larry's last USTA match in 2002 was actually a singles match. I never remember Larry playing singles. It's hard to picture now, but that just speaks. I'm sure somebody dropped out last minute that day and Larry picked up his rackets and he went out there and he played singles. Played a heck of a match too. Lost to the legendary Donnie Pollard, 7-6, 6-3. Donnie was probably about 14 at the time. But seriously though, I mean, Larry's done so much for us. He's just been a part of all of our lives. And I'll tell you this, I've seen a lot of us play, including myself, and it's painful to watch sometimes, but Larry was still out there and was 110 degrees and 35 degrees. It never stopped. You might see this bench out here. This is Larry's bench. I wanted to bring it out so he had a place to sit while we're doing this today. Be able to watch the proceedings. I can't remember when Larry exactly stopped playing tennis here. It seems like it's been forever since he's come out and played, except for hitting with some of the guys on a Monday night before y'all started playing. He'd come out and hit a few balls with his dryer balls. He'd get the balls in the dryer to fluff them up again so he could play with them, so he didn't have to buy a new can of balls. Once again, though, he kept organizing tennis every week, 5 times a week, just for his family. Very selfless. Being in Larry's group made you friends for life, gave you trips you've gone on with those friends, and the great times you've had just hanging out with your club family. All those great memories. The tennis legacy that Larry created at Brookhaven will not be discarded in his absence. We will continue to organize weekly tennis and captain teams, all in his name. This will forever be known as Harllee's group. Courts will be booked in his name. And we will not let him be forgotten after all that he has meant to us and done for us. It won't be the same without Larry here, but we will honor his legacy by keeping our family together. I always knew that if I had a new member join the club at the 4-0 level or above, that they would be ingrained in the club instantly if I just gave their name to Larry. But most importantly, they would be brought into the family and build relationships that would last a lifetime. Most of you know that Larry was here at the club every day of the week. On days there's no tennis organized, Larry would be out here on the clay courts, running sprints early in the morning right behind you there. In fact, Larry was last here 2 weeks ago, running sprints along that line like he did every Sunday morning. There were 3 things that you never wanted to get from Larry. The first thing was the look. In a lot of ways, Larry could be a Seinfeld. He could be a Seinfeld episode right here. You never wanted to get the look from Larry, because that meant you just got up at 5:45, 5:30 in the morning, got here at 6 o'clock, and he didn't have you on the list. That was never a good feeling. The second thing you didn't want to get from Larry was the call. Because that means you were supposed to be here, maybe, maybe not, but he had you on the list to be here, and you had disappointed 3 other people around the court waiting to play, and they had no 4th. And the third thing you didn't want to get from Larry was the talk. The talk was if you had been consistently late or had an episode on the court that maybe was a little bit less than sportsmanlike, and Larry would pull you aside and give you a good talking to and send you on your way and get you right back into the family. He was definitely our patriarch. I've just organized this tennis for 3 days, and I've already had to give the look and make the call. I can tell you right now that you can't even begin to fathom the enormous task it is to organize all the tennis that Larry was organizing. The fact that he did not use text or email to accomplish getting our matches put together a week is even more amazing. Don't ever take for granted the time he spent keeping us all busy on the tennis court. Larry's nephew and niece could not be here this weekend, but they want to come down the next month and get to meet all of you and memorialize Larry as well. I know there were a lot of people that couldn't be here today, so that'll hopefully give us and them another opportunity to remember Larry. Out of respect for the family, we've held a few things back today that we want to do while his family is here to see it. We're going to hang a plaque in his honor back here on the clay court deck, his absolute favorite place at the club. Some of you remember this, but in the early days of Larry, this was where Saturday tennis happened. We didn't play in the comfy confines of the climate control courts, but they were out here on the clay courts playing every Saturday morning. He really loved it out here because it was so much easier on his legs, and back then he just liked to be outside, I think. The second thing we were going to do is to create a scholarship in his name to help benefit some of the underprivileged kids that the DTA works with. We are firming details up now and confirming with his nephew that this was the family's wish, which I think it has been, as I know Carrie had talked to him a little bit before. As soon as we get more information, we'll get that out to you, and people interested in making donations to Larry's scholarship will be welcome to do so. You can be sure that while we no longer see Larry sitting on the bench watching us play, he is still watching, just from a different vantage point. So let me leave you with a couple of Larry gems to help keep him happy as he watches. Number 1, keep your hand up on the toss. And number 2, keep your eye on the ball, don't be a bobblehead. Words to live by. Larry, we will miss you tremendously, and we hope that you know now how much you were loved and respected by everyone here. I wish we had all been able to voice that to you while you were here with us, but I hope you can hear us now. The lesson that I've learned from this is not to waste one opportunity to tell someone how much you appreciate them and cherish them. Don't ever take your relationships for granted. You are a Brookhaven legend, a friend, and my hero for taking care of this family all these years. I hope you're in a better place now where somebody else is organizing your tennis for you. Really want to thank everybody for coming out, but it's with great trepidation now that I turn the microphone over to Yuri. Remember, it's a mixed crowd, Yuri. This is not the Monday Night Tennis Group.
Press paper, Yuri. Good morning, guys. I wrote some notes, so I don't break down speaking about Larry. But I will start just to get me in the group about. I have 3 stories about Larry. So I came in '99 and I didn't even know how to behave in that setting. So I started missing 6 a.m. periodically and not calling Larry to tell why. So he had the talk with me, and the first thing he asked me to call 15 people and apologize, which I did. And then it taught me a lesson that it's not that easy to call 15 people. Then at some point he blacklisted me because I was not showing up too often. And instantly, probably in about 3 months, I gained 20 pounds, and I told myself I will be attending every 6 a.m. since then. Also, like I was driving one morning, 5:30 on I-35, and a pickup truck hit me from kind of behind trying to exit too late. I was flying through the service road, kind of flying through the ditch, hitting a pole and landed. And through this flight, the only thing that I was thinking about, shit, I will be late to my 6 a.m. So this is what Larry was to us. When he died, it's like felt like a piece of my soul left me, like instantly. He taught us tennis all the time, bending the knees, keeping. I, by the way, had the only person who had the privilege to yell at Larry back. So I don't know why it happened, but I did. So, but for most, he taught us to respect each other. He taught us how to support each other. And it's never been about him. It was about us. It was about the game of tennis. And it was about the friendship that he helped us to grow. So this is what Larry was to us. He was, and Larry was like a father figure to me. So my father died early, so I left Russia. So I never had anybody in this statue for me, and Larry was that person. So rest in peace, Larry.